In the aftermath of Sandy Hook, the family members of victims have led the fight to reform gun laws, both nationally and here in Connecticut. News 8's Keith Kountz has more on how a community has fought for change following last year's unspeakable tragedy.
In Newtown, 1 week after the tragedy, there were moments of silence broken only by the ringing of a bell, one for each of the lives lost. On December 21st, the National Rifle Association breaks its silence, calling for the posting of armed guards at every school in the nation and blaming violent video games and music videos for exposing children to what it calls a violent culture. Senator Richard Blumenthal calls the NRA's message a distraction. Then on January 3rd, former Sandy Hook students returned to the classroom for the first time since the shooting. Their move to the Chalk Hill School in Monroe, renamed Sandy Hook Elementary. Desk and classroom decorations from their old school are brought in to ease the anxiety of students.
We want to just make sure everybody feels comfortable, and we want to move on and let the kids move on too.
Also on January 3rd, Governor Daniel Malloy appoints a special commission, the Sandy Hook Commission, charged with making recommendations for new laws aimed at reducing gun violence. Better access to mental health care among the topics high on the commission's agenda. On April 4th, with the stroke of a pen and the support of Sandy Hook family members, Governor Malloy signs a massive bipartisan gun bill into law, requiring, among other things, mandatory background checks prior to any gun purchase.
We have said from the outset that we want Newtown to be known not for our tragedy, but for transformation, and this law marks the beginning of that turning point.
But less than 2 weeks later, with Newtown families watching from the gallery, the U.S. Senate fails to pass a national gun control bill. On May 10th, Newtown officials vote to demolish Sandy Hook Elementary and build a new one in its place, a plan local residents vote in favor of later in the year.
We heard from so many people in town, so many emails, and it was just packed with emotion, that it was difficult to process, but I think that we ended up with the best long-term solution.
Demolition of Sandy Hook Elementary begins on October 24th. Almost a month to the day later, State Police released their 11-month-long investigation into the tragedy. And on December 4th, the 911 tapes from that terrible morning are released, revealing the calm of police dispatchers working under the enormous pressure and confusion of the moment. Then on December 9th, Newtown officials asked the media to give local residents privacy on the one-year anniversary of the tragedy, while calling on the public to mark the day by doing random acts of kindness in honor of the victims. Keith Kountz, News 8.